User training and awareness is the foundation for a good security stance within an organization. If people aren't aware of social engineering and phishing scams, then the best technological solutions may not protect you. So in this demo, we're going to take a look at some sample phishing email message so we can point out what you need to look out for to determine whether or not it's legitimate. So over the years, I've collected a lot of these phishing scam email messages simply as being interested and working in the security field. So for example, one of the things to look out for is bad grammar. Here I've got a message from Apple support. I've actually got two of them here. Notice one of them is not even opened. So I'm going to go ahead and open it. Now, it's a statement update service, and the subject says, "We information your Apple ID was login in another device." Immediately, that's got to set up red flags. How could a large corporation like Apple send out a message that's formed so poorly grammatically? Also, look at the Apple support email address, news@email.avast.com. That doesn't seem right. But as I go through the email, I see the Apple logo. Well, anybody can get that by going online and searching for that image. So it talks about my Apple ID was used to sign into iCloud and make a payment via iTunes. And we can see a couple of details here. Now, I've never used iCloud or iTunes, so I know this isn't for me. And I've got a link here that says, "Click here now." Now, I'm not going to click it. And if you ever want to really research this at a deep security level, you might do this in a sandboxed environment, but you want to be careful. If you ever decide to even think about doing this, make sure you get some technical expertise to protect yourself. So I'm certainly not going to click that here, but I'm going to hover my mouse over it very carefully. Notice in the bottom left, I can see what it's linking to, which looks like some unrecognizable URL. Yeah, this is bad news. That's a scam. Now, other times you might get things like, "Oh, I have a PayPal notice." So if I open that up, immediately I notice that the email address, that looks kind of weird, but it looks like someone ordered some wired ergonomic optical gaming mouse. There's a transaction ID, there's the PayPal logo. It looks like it's in October 2017. And as I go through and read this, it talks about a $65 payment that was sent to a seller and it was gone to another country, specifically in this case, Australia. So of course, I might be concerned. I might want to click the links that are suggested here and do what they say to check into this to make sure that this isn't really happening. Now, I've got a link here. Click here to log into your account. And if I hover over carefully, again, if I look very carefully down at the URL down in the bottom left, it looks kind of suspicious. And whenever you get an email similar to this, don't follow the links in the message. If you do have an eBay and a PayPal account or anything like that, sign into those accounts as you normally would and check out the purchase or transaction history. Last thing you want to do is click the links in these email messages. That's how a lot of machines and even entire networks get infiltrated. Another common example would be something from someone in your contact list that looks like it was sent from them saying, "Hey, you might be interested in this. Here I've got this lovely looking link that apparently has me in it. Maybe some kind of press documentation. So should I actually click that link? Should I not?" You want to be careful. Unless you've asked for a file attachment for a link, so you've sent out an email initially, I would recommend not clicking any of them that you receive through email. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. And as we scroll all the way down through here, I've got different messages from banks like the Royal Bank of Canada, with whom I do not and have never had an account. So that should be something that gives me some alarm bells immediately. And eventually you'll come across a lot of scams where people try to get you to send them money as well. For example, I've got one here from someone apparently named Cornelius N. Bright. If I open that email message, it's really an example of the classic Nigerian inheritance scam, where I've got apparently some doctor that bears my surname. We have that in common. And apparently I have $9.3 million that I can inherit. However, I've got an email address here, a Gmail account, about details to proceed with this transaction, which probably involves me sending a couple $100. It makes me think, why don't they just take it out of the 9.3 million? But at any rate, don't give in, don't be gullible. Certainly we don't let greed or the fact that we might have something for free take over our sensible judgment. So, user awareness and training is absolutely crucial here to protect individual machines and entire networks from malware.